Hi, this is Jasmine Moganam, and I want to present to you Financial Future. Hi, I'm Jasmine Moganam. I'm a fourth year computer science student at UC. And for this, I want to just go over new age of consumption, budgeting, encouraging through automation, and the demo. So, first of all, what the heck is the problem that I'm trying to solve here? Well, my generation is kind of the new age of consumption. We have a lot of buy now, pay later, where it kind of obfuscates how much money we're actually spending. Spend a lot more on fast food. I've even had a lot of my friends think that fast food is less expensive than getting groceries. That McDonald's meal is more cost efficient than buying potatoes and making a dish that way. There's also hobbies. I have a lot of friends that are into video games who spend a lot of money on gotcha pulls and like Genshin Impact, or are really into D&D and have just bought like their 100th set of dice. A lot of stuff like that. And then subscriptions. Almost everything is a subscription, from Netflix to our own like school accounts. Once we graduate, all of our free subscriptions from GitHub Copilot, which a lot of people you've heard talk about today, among other things, are all just going to, they add up, and sometimes you can even forget about them and they fall through the cracks. Young spenders, a lot of my friends that I've talked to, are not keeping track of their expenses. So, how do we fix this? The age-old practice of budgeting. Lots of people do this, but not a lot of young people do, from my own experience. What I've done in the past is used Google Sheets. I've helped set up these Google Sheets with all sorts of calculations that average the past 3 months and tell you your average income, go over the specific different stuff. And this is, not everyone has the ability to make these complicated Google Sheets, or even the time to every single month or every week even go through and update all the expenses. And even when you are updating these Google Sheets, you're usually looking at one thing, which is your account statements, your account summary. You look at, where all the things I spent on Grubhub, how much income, what was my paycheck I got for my thing. If you want to look in one consolidated place, it's almost always in your banking app, banking website, your account statements, which puts Fifth Third in a uniquely good situation to do something about this, which is encouraging budgeting through automation. Essentially, just adding the ability where you have all these different payments, like you have this one from Grubhub, you have this one from Starbucks, just putting it all consolidated together in custom groups so that people can kind of keep track, say, hey, I spend a lot more on my Starbucks than I would like. And you can kind of help users figure out what they're spending too much on and sort of get rid of that by allowing them to create custom groups. Saving rewind, sort of like on YouTube and Spotify, you see these runs of like, you are in the top 1% of listeners, something like that for average amount of money that people spend on groceries. Like the average round average is $300, but let's say you spent $120 this month on groceries. You're like, you are in the top 30% of grocery spenders. Stuff like that. So that sort of adds like the more hip new stuff that Gen Z and younger generation sort of gets. And then goal setting. Fifth Third has Roth and Roth IRA accounts that could be connected to this application, essentially saying, hey, you have contributed this much, or you could take, given all these expenses, you just made a net income of like 700 or 400 this month. Why not put 100 of that into your Roth IRA, and sort of adding a goal to help with future retirement and savings? Roth. And now I'm going to go to my demo. So this is not as impressive as all of those things I shared, but it would essentially be these 3 pages. There would be an overview page, which would have a lot of graphs. I was thinking D3 SVG graphs, was not able to do that in time, but it would show your current income. It would show a savings goal that you can edit in the planning, and the total amount you have in your bank. So just like, how much money do you have in case something bad happens, that sort of stuff. And then just a calculated average income per month. This was a broken toggle where you could toggle between monthly and weekly statistics. just to help someone look at macro and micro sort of stuff on their finances. And then here would just be a table sort of talking about those custom groupings. Each custom grouping would be a column. Fifth Third already does this, where it does have like an entertainment group and other stuff, but also just allowing people to add their own custom stuff and just go over it over here. And same thing like monthly, weekly, like that. And then planning, it was just like, here's your Roth IRA goal, here's how many savings you need to make each month to make that goal, stuff like that. And then like looking at things, maybe it could be toggled, like rent is not something you can decrease, but entertainment stuff is. Automatic or even AI suggestions for like, consider reducing this. And then sort of the cut spending is the idea of that sort of YouTube rewind, Spotify rewind thing, where it's like, you spent $100 on groceries this month. That's 30% less than the average of 300. 3% less than last month. So sort of a way to compare your spending to the average spending of other people, and spending from how you last spent, to sort of encourage and reward better spending habits, while also just giving you sort of an idea of how much are you spending, because a lot of people lose that sort of comparison of how much they are actually spending in comparison to what they need or could be spending. But yeah, thank you so much.